No limits, no ceiling, no crown. No pressure gonna hold me down. No stopping till I break every rule. No limits to what I can do. Nowhere is too far away. No border gonna stand in my way. No wall that I can't break through. No limits to what I can do.
Not too shabby.
Well, hot damn.
Hot damn is right. Hello, my friend.
What is up, brother?
It's a beautiful day. I got all the furniture in my office. A couple of weeks, I'm getting a badass mural painted back here. It's a good life. I am. Yeah.
Huh?
You know that big mural that's in my office now?
Mm-hmm.
Same dude is doing one for podcasts in this room. So
That's sick.
I'm so busy, dude.
All right. What you got going on?
Huh?
What do you got going on? I feel busier this week than in a long time. But what do you got cooking? I know some of your stuff, but I don't know what to.
Yeah. Well, stuff I can't tell you. Well, happy to tell you, but can't say to the world. But you know, changing everything and taking over the world and changing the way health insurance is bought and sold in America. That's the goal, right?
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's funny. You know, I've told you a lot of times God spoke to me.
Mm-hmm.
And these last couple of weeks, I've just been so exhausted that the only thing that kept me going was I had no choice.
Yeah.
I was told to, right?
Yep.
But I'll tell you what, man, the stuff that's happened in the last 24 hours, I feel good.
Really? Hell yeah.
I feel really, really good. You know, my team's not closing what they should at all, but that's an easy fix. You know, we get there sometimes, I guess, for some weird ass reason. But the other stuff that I have that's going to feed them and that's going to take care of them and take care of my family and everyone else in America's family is progressing rapidly, and I'm very happy with it. But
Can't wait to see, bro. I'm watching.
I cannot wait to.
As soon as we get rid of these fuckers, I want to hear more. But I love you all.
Yes. Yeah. I'm very excited. You know, it was sometimes I have this feeling, and my father, like several times in my life, I remember my dad saying, you know, there was this one time that this happened. I wonder what would have happened if I had, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And so it's always been my theory in life that you chase every single opportunity until you find out it's not an opportunity. And 99% of the time, it's somebody trying to get you to sell Amway.
Yeah.
Like 99.9% of the time. But then there's just that 0.01% you go, wow, okay. You know, that's what got me into the industry. I was like, I wasn't going to come. And my wife made me come. I was like, they're going to try to make me sell some multi-level marketing bullshit, and I'm not going to go. And my wife made me go. And bam, it was that 0.01. And I think I'm at another one of those 0.01s. So
do you like get, and this is because I get this way, so I'm thinking of me, I'm curious. Do you get like, because you'll take a lot of meetings and you travel to stuff, you do what you got to do for business. Do you get like this weird sense of like right before, like you don't really want to fucking go?
I don't want to do any of it.
Because I get like I've traveled a decent bit in the last 2 weeks to a couple meetings, and I'm like, right before, like the night before, I'm like, why did I say yes to this? Like, I don't want to go.
I don't.
But dude, when I get there, I'm like, I'm glad I make myself do shit I don't want to do, because it almost always turns out something super valuable on the other side of that for me.
I would say that was the case even, you know, being in Vegas this weekend. I did not want to be there at all. The podcast that I went to do didn't seem that important before I got there, and then doing it and the connections that I made during it,
for real,
and the connections that I made after it. I'm a big believer in Matthew 7:7, right? Seek and ye shall find.
Yeah.
So if you're going to make me give you my favorite quote, that's what it's going to be. It's that: seek and ye shall find. And when you're looking for something and basically what you're looking for, you will find it. So whether you're looking for content, most people don't know. They go, well, I want to make content. What should I do? And you're like, well, don't ask me, bro. Go figure it out. And then they can't figure it out because they're not really seeking. They want what, like I always say with salespeople, is they're waiting for a postcard from Jesus with a bank and routing on it to come into the mail.
Yeah.
And that's what they're looking for with content. That's what they're looking for with business opportunities. But when you put yourself out there and you go, listen, I'm trying to do the right thing for my family. I'm trying to do the right thing for the people around me. I'm trying to do the right thing for everybody. And I know it can be done. I'm trying to do the right thing for the company I'm with. I'm trying to do the right thing for the companies around me. Like, how can we raise the tide for everyone? And when you first start looking, it doesn't exist. But if you just keep seeking, and you do everything with honor and appreciation and love, and you're genuinely seeking, it keeps, in my experience, it always just shows up.
Dude, so this is so crazy. So I had last week, I'm trying to figure out, I'm looking at ways for me to continue to improve my relationship and my value with integrity. And they're growing a lot, and there's a lot of new people around. I'm learning how to navigate new relationships there. And so I do a lot of like system stuff, as you know.
Right.
And I wake up one day last week, and I come in the office, I'm like, I have an idea. I'm like, it sounds kind of crazy, but I have a really good idea. And I'm not going to give all the details yet, but I get on the whiteboard. It's still up there. And I like to take pictures when I do this stuff because it blows my mind.
Nice.
So I whiteboard. I map out this plan I have to improve the growth overall at Integrity. And I'm like, it sounds kind of crazy, but I really think this shit would work. And dude, next day, someone pretty high up there messages me, and we connect. And I'm like, dude, I have an idea I want to run by you. And I tell him what I whiteboard, I just tell him about it, and it's total coincidence. And he's like, dude, that might be one of the best things I've ever heard. And it's like leveling up it's like moving up the chain. Like, we're having some real conversations about building some really sick stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's wild. Like that happened within 24 hours.
Right.
Of like having the idea and then just coincidentally having the opportunity to present the idea. And I really had no idea how I was going to do it prior to just thinking about it, and that happens a lot to me.
Where this primary thing that I'm working on came from was, somebody had presented the idea to me a long time ago, like 6 months ago.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And I did a little bit of research, and I was like, this project is so big, it can't be done, right? Yeah. Not with what I got. And then fast forward another month and a half, and a friend of mine picked me up from the airport, and we're driving, and I'm just talking. And he's like, I'm doing this. And I go, no, you can't be done. I've already tried. He goes, yeah, I found some people that can. And I go, I don't believe you. Like, it's that big of a project that it can't be done. He's like, yeah, you couldn't do it unless you were, a private equity group, or you were something giant, and then you could do it. And I go, yeah, that's the research I had too. And he goes, yeah, I'm doing it. I got the people. And I kind of was like, okay, sure. Sounds good. I'll believe that when I see it. And then all of a sudden, some things come back around, and there you go, man. I love it. And so we'll see. But the most important thing is that, for me, it's always how do the people that have always taken care of me how do I make sure they're taken care of? How do I make sure nobody gets screwed over? How do I make sure that my friends, I don't mess up my friends' businesses? How do I increase their business? Because that's just who I am. And how do we create something great for the people who are great to me? And then and then I just like I always say, I want the tide to come up for all ships. I just want a really big boat. How do I make taking care of my clients easier for my clients?
Yeah.
I might have it figured out.
Yeah. Dude, a little bit I know. Sounds like you're on the right track.
We'll find out.
I'm looking forward to hearing more.
We'll find out.
I love it, dude.
And if not, if it falls apart, well, that's okay. I learned a lot along the way. Turns out it was Amway, and we learned a lot from that too.
Lessons in it either way.
Yeah. So yeah, but I've been really exhausted.
Yeah.
Like really. Yesterday, like my last day in Vegas, like I hurt myself doing squats, and I blew like I couldn't walk, and I'd slept an hour and a half the night before. I'm like a zombie wandering around Vegas. But yeah.
Vegas at all?
What's that?
Did you do Vegas at all?
A little bit. I mean, I don't really do Vegas.
I hear you. I'm saying, did y'all enjoy any of it? We
enjoyed it, yeah. Because so my buddy Tony and my buddy Derek and their spouses went with Jamie and I, and it was a good time. We had some great meals and some camaraderie, and so that was enjoyable. And then anytime I'm just anywhere with my wife, my favorite times are just sitting in the hotel room with her. So. At the end of the day, I'm an old man who doesn't like partying, who enjoys his house hiding in the woods, and likes spending time with his kids and his wife. And I like building my companies. So I enjoyed that time with my wife. I enjoyed that time with my friends. We spent way too much money on dinners. And the podcast went great. I killed that.
Did it?
Yeah. Yeah. I was nervous about it because I'm like, I've seen this guy's podcast. He does stuff with Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone did the show before mine, but also he does stuff with people. I'm like, who cares? And I'm like, well, I'm the who cares guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I really got to knock this out of the park to not let myself be in that who cares position. And I felt like it was beautiful. So we'll see.
When's it come out? Do you know?
Where he feels like putting it out.
Yeah, I think it's a few months out from what I heard.
Yeah. I mean, he booked me in November.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah. And then
I got a message yesterday again.
Yeah. Yeah, they're good dudes. He pretty much just runs that whole thing by himself. So
you're saying I should do it, huh?
Yeah, what? Do you got something better to do?
I mean, probably not. I don't do shit anyway, so may as well.
Go to Vegas. I mean, you're always traveling anyways. You might as well end up in Vegas.
Dude, I got to be there in April anyway, so maybe I'll schedule it when I'm out there. You see, cool. What do you think? What's your? I don't know how much you can talk about it, but what's your vision of how will it amplify things? Like, what do you expect? What are your expectations from it?
Okay.
I won't take
so let's not talk about the expectations of that. Here's what I'll tell you. My goal is that the Healthy Insurance Dude is a household name.
Yep.
Okay. So if that's a tiny little baby step in the green light game, red light, green light game, then I'll take it. And if it doesn't do anything but get me some Instagram followers, A, I don't care. But B, it sharpens that sword for talking to people.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. Is worst case scenario, I sharpen my sword. Best case scenario, or medium case scenario, I get some Instagram followers. And best case scenario, it puts me one step closer to getting on the next thing that helps me make the Healthy Insurance Dude a household name. Because the thing is, man, nobody cares about health insurance. Nobody cares about life insurance. The only people who care about health and life insurance are people who sell it.
Yeah.
And I have no interest that you talk to those people. I have no interest in talking to those people. I don't feel like I have any value to bring to them. You bring, I feel, great value to those people. And so I just don't care. Not in a mean way. I don't care about them, but in a,
Yeah. You just
I'm
don't. It's
already
irrelevant.
famous with health insurance salespeople. It doesn't help. It's never put a dollar in my pocket or helped one client for me.
Yeah.
But like Geico, what launched Geico was their marketing. Okay. Well, what did Geico say that made Geico's marketing so good? Well, they didn't say anything about car insurance. They talked about Bigfoot, and they gave a lizard a British accent,
That's old school.
right? But I mean, that's what made Geico launch, was
Yeah.
that they figured out to not talk about insurance to sell insurance.
Yep.
And I've always been on that same path ever since I started. It's like, well, let's just talk about the things that I like talking about. What do I like to talk about? Well, I like to talk about my relationship with my spouse. I like to talk about being a parent. I like to talk about building companies, and I like to talk about cars. So we'll just talk about those 4 things. That's all I've ever talked about. It's the only 4 things I'm any good at talking about. And then we can break those down into more micro or macro conversations.
I love it.
So what is it? What did I get out of it? Probably nothing, but maybe an opportunity to speak to more people on another platform.
Yeah. You'll definitely get eyeballs. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about that. There's zero doubt on that.
So if it gives me more opportunities to make the Healthy Insurance Dude brand a little more out there and to accomplish what I need to accomplish, the Healthy Insurance Dude brand needs to be everywhere. So that's it's an opportunity, and that's it.
I love it. It's a good one. I'm a fan.
Me too.
We had where did I go this week? I was in Springfield speaking at an event, and then this most recent week I was kind of back to back.
Do you enjoy that?
Dallas, obviously.
You do that a lot. Do you enjoy it?
Say again?
You speak at a lot of events. Do you enjoy that?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it you enjoy about that?
I like that every event I go to, someone from the previous event lets me know how much something I talked to them about, gave them for advice, feedback, improved their financial situation.
Love it.
Yeah. That's what I get out of it. It's very selfish why I like it. It makes me feel good.
I'm the same way, only it's not the financial, it's more of a life. Because I mean, I think of myself more as a life coach than a sales coach. I'm not a very good sales coach.
Yeah.
I learned that very early because I was so good at sales, and it's so natural to me. I have to reverse engineer what I did to try to help you.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, the financial for me is for me, what it boils down to from almost everyone that I help is what they can then do for their kids with it.
Yeah.
That's for me the hook.
Yeah. And for me, it's so from there, like, now how can I help your relationship with your kids?
Yeah. Yeah. You're better. I get that from you too, which that's not my, I mean, I don't have a terrible, but I'm not like,
No,
that's not my main. Yeah.
And I love that we have the same passion in different directions.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I keep doing it. Now, crazy, it costs me a shitload of money to do it every time. I don't make any money on it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, but I'm sure it'll all work out, dude. It'll not directly, indirectly, sure. I mean, I'm sure people end up working here and things flow. You know what I mean? But people are always funny, like, especially at a lot of events where people pitch stuff or indirectly pitch stuff if it's not real direct. And I'm like, actually, I don't have anything for sale. I feel like I should sometimes. Yeah. Because people look at me like I'm nuts. They're like, what are you pitching? I'm like, I'm sorry, I just showed up to like actually help them. Like,
yeah. I think another way to put what we do the same that is just love bringing value to people's lives.
Yeah.
And I don't have that talent that you have of being it's a different, it's the same thing, but differently. It's that conversation. It's that you brought value to my life when you said this. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I thought conferences would get that across, I would do that. I guess. I don't know. Nobody ever asks me to. So
I just started showing up to them, dude. And now I get asked to do a lot of them, but I initially just started going. And then again, initially, dude, what I get out of them also, to be honest, this is probably the second thing that turns out probably to be the biggest impact for me personally is like a direct impact. I always meet someone there that maybe not immediately, but like we met at one. Like we wouldn't be doing this if I didn't show up to an event I didn't want to go to.
Right.
And just shit coincidence, we sat next to each other. And then shit coincidence, we were somewhat kind of involved already and just didn't know it.
Right. And shit coincidence that Joe happened to be sitting next to us as well.
Yeah. Like it's wild. And, dude, every event I go to, something like that happens because I'll navigate an event in a second to figure out who's who and we have conversations. Like I don't mind which is weird because I'm not super social in my own personal world, but in event spaces I am.
Okay.
And I always come away from events with at least one relationship that adds value to my world.
Nice.
Yeah.
I get exhausted. Emotionally immature people exhaust me.
Yeah. I agree.
And I'll just get lazy and stay away from them.
Yeah, I can tune those suckers out. I just like, hey, I gotta go. Hey, I'll talk for a minute. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I feel like I'm really good at navigating those to stay in my sweet spot and not be in those things. And I get a weird energy at them. It drives. It actually drives Stephanie crazy. Like sometimes we'll be at an event that's a personal event, and she's like, "Can you pretend we're at like a work event? Can that guy come?" Because I won't navigate like, if someone had some couple had a birthday party at the country club last year, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll have a drink. I know one guy, I talked to him, but I didn't like navigate it to see who was who. I just kind of hung out with the one dude I knew.
Well, I think about that too, because I'm the same way. Like at a work event, I know I need to be.
You're on
this Perry, right?
Yeah.
Also, that Perry is very exhausting.
100%, dude. I leave events wore out.
I mean, like honestly, like even this that we do when we finish this, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Like emotionally exhausted. A podcast is exhausting as shit to me, typically. And so anytime I have an opportunity to default back to introvert Perry, I'll take that.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. I think, how, what's his name does the color stuff, and when you look at the top people, I think they can fit into, it's pretty even on, you could be any of those colors.
Everyone's a mix for sure.
Everyone's a mix, but I think I can, I'm 99% on all four ish. Yeah. Right. Maybe
times,
like the one place that you're probably higher than me that I would be slightly lower would, the accountant side, right? The green side.
What's funny is everyone that knows me thinks I score super high on that. And I crazy enough don't. I have it. The piece I have of it is very high, but I don't have all of that. But yes.
I'm like even across the board on everything except the red, which is higher.
Yeah, I would think that. Yeah, mine was red. And then, which is like what's the other, the disc? So red's like a D in a sense.
Right.
And then I was, yellow was, because there's yellow, green is like the party guy. And then, oh no, it's blue. Bluish. Yep. So I was red, yellow. We're not too far apart.
Yeah.
And then blue and then green was the lowest on mine, dude.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
I like to, one of the other ways I was thinking about it is like, well, what meeting are we walking into? Right? Like, am I walking into,
that's true.
I mean, I'm the person that I need to be for whatever meeting we're about to have.
Yeah, I could see you being that. Dude, I struggle being that blue one. Like that's not me. I don't, that,
Yeah.
I'm not good there.
So
I don't
that
know how to turn
meeting
that on
is
and
it's
off.
time to meet a girl. Blue it
Huh?
is. So
Yeah,
that
correct.
meeting
Yeah,
would
yeah,
be time to meet a girl, right? Blue it is. All right, here we go. Blue time.
yeah. Yeah, it's wild. But I like this. I like stuff like that. I like personality tests. I like learning. We do it with our staff, and just I never understood. I really never understood how different everybody was. So I really started studying that stuff.
Yeah, I I did some personality tests this last week, and one of the meetings today was going over it, and then they're wanting me to go over it with everybody else, and I'm like, I just get people
Yeah, I see
and
that.
don't need that. Like I can
I
get that within 10 seconds of talking to you. I'm like, oh, you're here. I mean, I'm not thinking about it in terms of color.
No, I get it.
I
It's a
just understand.
natural for you. Yeah.
It's just natural who I
Yeah.
am.
Dude, until I swear, bro, till I was like 35, I thought we were all the same. I had
Yeah.
no fucking clue, dude. I feel dumb saying it, but when I started learning about all the different types, I'm like, that's why these people don't like me, because I treat them like they're me. I speak to them like they're me, like they
Right.
receive info like me, and I never, I do, I feel like a jackass, but I'm like, I remember when that light bulb went off. I was like, holy smokes.
My mother, and I we're not close, but my mother was, I think, an amazing. She was an amazing role model for me. The things that I was taught when I was a kid, she was like, listen, you're going to grow up and be a great leader. That's what you're going to be when you grow up. And so, my grandfather was a military officer, um, and that's what our conversations always revolved around, was how to lead people and how to lead people differently.
Got it.
And it's been my lifelong passion. Being a leader
Yeah.
has been just what we studied and practiced. I remember when I was in high school and I won the swim team, and my mom's like, listen, you need to become the captain of the swim team. And it's important because you need to learn how to lead these people. You need to learn how to be able to convince different people from different personalities and different backgrounds to do things that they wouldn't want to do. And that's how she saw that position of team captain in high school.
Yeah.
And so that's just always, she did an amazing job of raising me that way.
That's cool.
Yeah. I appreciate that about her.
I like it.
Yeah.
So Maddox this week, I'm going to change gears on you. Maddox made school baseball team this week, so now he's on 2 baseball teams. Yeah,
That's going to be busy.
Yeah. So he first 6th grade, first year you get to play for middle school.
Really?
Yep. So which is cool. So now he gets to play with. So traditionally we just played in like a rec league, and he went to like a kind of, they say it's a travel team, but we stayed relatively local. We don't like travel out of state. It's not that tight.
That's horrible. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, we don't. It's not a crazy travel team. It's more of an all-star local team, whatever. So he did that for the first time this year, and then during the rec teams, it's like they do like a draft, right? And they rank you, and then it's literally a draft. They do, and so all the teams are relatively even because you draft based on skill set, and in the first round you can only pick players from these points or whatever. So a lot of his friends are spread out. So all of his buddies from school, he'll play with like maybe 1, maybe max 2 on a team.
Right.
But typically all of his friends are on the opposing teams and they play against each other.
Right. But not in the school league.
Well, yeah. So now all the kids are friends. So now they get to all play together.
That's great.
So all of his buddies have been like top, a little more all-star team type players on all these different teams. And every once in a while, like every year, it rotates a little. It's like, oh, we get to play with these 2 this season or this one this season. Well, this year now, baseball, all these kids we've been watching play together against each other for, the last 8 years.
Right.
Shit, they all get to be on the same team now. So and his school is kind of a baseball school. Like that's their thing.
That's their thing.
Yeah, their boys' baseball team's badass. So now we get to watch them for the next 6 years all play together.
That's awesome.
Oh, dude, I can't wait. Like I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm excited for this part. So it's going to be a fun little journey. So he made the team, and thankfully, like the day after tryouts, dude, he got sick. The kids had the flu since last Thursday. So he spent 5 days in bed. So thankfully,
this flu, COVID, whatever the hell's going around, I don't know. I don't get tested. Is evil, man. It lasts like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You feel like shit, and then you feel better, and then you feel like crap again. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons our numbers have been absolute trash, because for 2.5 weeks, this office was empty. So, and then, people would start to feel better, and then their kids would be sick.
Yep. Yeah, it's wild.
Hence why you need remote teams.
I had a call with your guy. When did I do it? Yesterday.
Justice.
Yeah, yesterday I think we did it.
You did.
So Amanda, dude, somehow the other day someone hit me on Facebook and was like, "Hey, I kind of want to work with you guys, blah, blah." And I set up a call. Like, I did an interview. And I don't do a ton of one-on-one interviews. I have so many people doing them. And I'm like, I just did them. And Amanda's like, "Did you record it?" And I'm like, "No." She goes, "How many people would have loved to see that?" And I'm like, well, I wasn't thinking. So anyway, when I had a call with your guy, I've had 3 Zooms since with people that just wanted to like pick my brain and talk about building shit. And I'm like, now I'm going to record them. So I recorded the one with him, and we're going to make it look pretty and put it on YouTube and shit. Share it. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So
yeah, he came in. He sat down next to me. He was like, "Man, I'm doing everything wrong. That was amazing. John is awesome." Justice is our guy.
It was a good call. Yeah, he took good notes, and
he's a great guy. I think of him like one of my sons. He's a good kid.
So in 30 days, we'd follow up, see if he does anything with it.
Yeah, well, we'll find out. He is one of my sons.
We will find out. But it was good. He's a good dude. You got a good crew over there.
Thank you.
Building something fun.
I love them. They're awesome people. They frustrate the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Like all
I'm sure it works the other way too. That's what I've learned. I'm sure you frustrate the shit out of them.
The goalpost moved again, Perry? Yes, the fucking goalpost moved. That's what happened. That's why it's on. That's why it's on tracks, so we can move it forward and backward all the time.
Yeah, same. We're moving stuff all the time, dude. We had to let someone go this week from calling out sick like 12,000 times, and then we brought on something. We got a new guy start this week, and we're interviewing for still ain't found the right person to do the video and social stuff. I just haven't.
My video guy went out to Phoenix with me, and we did some content. And I was sick that week, right? That was during the 2 weeks, exhausted, walking, who knows how many miles every day. And then we got up one morning, and he met me, and we went out to the pool and recorded, and it didn't feel good, but whatever. And then he did all the editing and everything, and then sent it to me yesterday. And I was like, this is horrible, bro. Like, this is unwatchable, meandering bullshit. Like, why? It's not his fault, right? There's no fixing how bad my content was. But he,
bro, he's really good.
No, he's obviously, you met him. He's incredible. But it was me. I'm like, bro, that is unfixable. It was so bad. And, I gave you a little bit of insight on him, but that guy's wildly successful in life. Right. And he was like, well, what do you want to do with this Perry Lunsford podcast? I'm like, I don't know. I'm so frustrated with everything right now, because this was yesterday, but when I'm still like, why am I doing this? Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why am I doing this? Just like your question. If you had asked me yesterday, what was the upside of that podcast? I would have been like, I don't know. And I don't know why I did it, but I did it, and it was fun. And he's like, well, why don't we just let me get you some guests? And I'm like, okay. And all of a sudden we've got like the host of TV shows, and in like 2 seconds, he's like, yeah, this is my old next door neighbor. He's the guy from, this TV show on the History Channel. You want to interview him? I'm like, I guess. And then 10 seconds later, oh yeah. He wants to do the show. Do you want him to fly out for it? And I'm like, no, that seems like responsibility. We'll do it online. Right. So yeah, man, Brent's amazing. My videographer is amazing. So I went from, why am I doing this, to, wow, what an incredible asset this son of a bitch is. And so on Friday, he's coming to my house all day, and we're doing car content all day.
Nice. That's dope. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Why? I don't know. What do PPOs have to do with cars? What do PPOs have to do with gecko, or what does car insurance have to do with geckos? I don't know, but we're gonna fucking do it. So
I love it. Killer, dude.
Yep.
It's all good shit, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, it's good chatting as always. Everybody got it?
As always, I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you, John.
Same dude.
Thanks for everything.
See you guys.